We will find you. 100% we will find you. And when we do, you're not going to see another daylight. You're going to be behind those bars. Yes, we're going to protect our community.
You people, USA, UK and Germany and France, just put it in your head that if you touch Burkina Faso, you've touched Russia. You understand?
Now let's take a moment to
Just put it in your head. If you touch Burkina Faso, you've touched Russia.
I think it's high time that the whole world comes out to tell us the truth. What has Africans done wrong? Or better still, what are they afraid of when it comes to Africans? What power or what secret is there when it comes to Africa that the whole world is afraid of? The most antagonized continent is Africa. When it comes to placing the world at different cadres, Africa comes to the least of the least. But yet, the whole world is so much concerned when it comes to Africa, especially when it comes to the liberation of Africa. What exactly is the whole world afraid of? Because looking at the antecedents and looking at what is going on at the moment, we will all come to the conclusion that there are more to Africans than what we think. And I think it's high time that every one of us go out there and do some research. There are lots of things that we need to know being an African. Because what has Ibrahim Traore done? What has he done? Why does he deserve to be unalived? What human rights has he violated? The simple thing that Ibrahim Traore have done is to say no to the so-called help from all these international bodies. And he has the right. It's his country, for goodness sake. So what is going on? Why are they aiming at unaliving Ibrahim Traore? And what is ECOWAS doing at the moment? You know, sometimes I begin to wonder that we Africans are the most enemies that we have. Africans are the enemies of Africans. Ibrahim Traore has escaped numbers of assassination. And yet, the whole world keeps quiet. Nothing is happening. I could say that a number of Africans loved what Ibrahim Traore is doing. And I think good number of his people in his country are pleased with what he's doing. So what exactly has he done wrong that is causing all this chaos? It's high time we began to ask some questions. It's high time that blacks, as we have been called, stand up for blacks and not being the enemy of ourselves. It's high time we begin to look for the legacy that has been stolen from us. It's time we stand and speak, even if our so-called leaders are not ready to speak for us. Congo is there for God's sake. The ongoing war in Congo, the brutality in Congo, none of these international bodies are talking about it. We are not seeing this noise all over the internet. But boom, when it comes to Ibrahim Traore, the whole world rises up. The whole world is concerned. What is happening? I think it's high time we start a challenge to no unaliving Ibrahim Traore. We want him to stay. We are pleased with his governance. Let him lead. Let's see how far he's going to go. Not by unaliving him. Give Africans the chance to make their mistakes. Give Africans the chance to choose who they want. Give Africans the chance to do what pleases them. Let's make our mistakes. Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's move on from our mistakes. The whole world should stop being too concerned about us when we know that they aren't really concerned. Leave Africans alone. Let Africans breathe. Shalom.
And of course, the last thing I want to say before I inflict my speech on you is the issue of leveraging our comparative advantages. The time has come for Africa to unashamedly take advantage of the natural resource endowment that God has given us. In the colonial era, we had colonial masters, we had no say, and so they mined the gold, they took it away, they developed the palm plantations, took the palm oil away, they took the diamonds away, took everything away. And when we gained independence, Nkrumah warned us and said colonialism might have been defeated, but we're entering the era of neo-colonialism. They don't need to bring a governor to sit here, but they still would, from wherever the colonial headquarters is at, control your resources and be able to still derive the benefits as if they had colonized you. And that exactly is happening. Post-colonialism, we didn't have technology, we didn't have capital, we didn't have the human resource. And so foreign companies come and take huge concessions and they sign it off for a pittance. And they run those, concessions to the benefits of the colonial metropolis. Today, I think that in Africa we've developed a core of human resource that is capable of also taking advantage of some of these resources. We've developed the technology, we have the technology to be able to do whatever any of these big conglomerates are doing. And the capital is available in the world to mobilize, to be able to do the same things. And that is why recently we had a little issue which we have resolved with one of our mining companies whose lease had expired after 30 years. And it was our desire to take it over and use Ghanaian expertise to be able to also exploit that resource and let the benefits remain in our country.
Muammar Gaddafi has lost legitimacy to...
Okay, the video up here that we're about to watch is what happened to late Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, the greatest African leader from late 20th century to early 21st century. He was the only African leader that proposed the name United States of Africa. He also proposed one currency, one passport, and even one army. He challenged Western imperialism. His favorite words were
Africa for Africans! The land of Africa is for Africans! Everywhere! Our land is our land! Everything is our land!
And this is what happened to him. Watch.
Muammar Gaddafi has lost legitimacy to lead and he must leave.
There is a conspiracy to control Libyan oil, to control the Libyan land, and to colonize Libya again. This is impossible, and we will fight until the last man and woman to defend Libya.
We came, we saw, we died.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, the government of Libya announced the death of Muammar Gaddafi. This marks the end of a long and painful chapter for the people of Libya, who now have the opportunity to determine their own destiny in a new and democratic Libya. For 4 decades, the Gaddafi regime ruled the Libyan people with an iron fist. Basic human rights were denied, innocent civilians were detained, beaten, and killed, and Libya's wealth was squandered. The enormous potential of the Libyan people was held back, and terror was used as a political weapon. Today, we can definitively say that the Gaddafi regime has come to an end.
Okay, so basically what happened was the American propaganda, just like we know them now, tried to paint everything. All you heard Obama say here were lies. But what happened then was we depended on the Western media to tell us what was happening in Africa, unlike now that we have social media. So what happened was the American leader, the first black American leader, betrayed the greatest African leader. I was a kid then. This was in 2011 and I was just a kid. But even people that were grown up then didn't have access to social media like we do now. So we only believed in what they told us without knowing exactly what was happening in Libya. But come to think of it, after they brutally murdered Gaddafi, this liar said that now the people of Libya can now decide their own future, right? Now, Libya is the most disorganized country in Africa. No government, no police, no law, nothing. There is nothing in Libya now. There is no order in Libya right now. But they deceived them and killed their only true leader. And what I want to remind all of us is they have started again. They used a black man, this liar right here. They used a black man. Then in 2011, I was a kid, but now I am grown up. We are grown-ups now, and we have access to the social media. Now, our greatest leader right now, Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, and they have come with the same propaganda through a black man again, labeling him as a criminal, as a squanderer, and saying that he has lost the legitimacy to lead, just like they said in the time of Gaddafi. And now we are all eyes open, we are woke, and we are not going to let that happen. Consequently, in case you have not heard, there will be a march on the 30th of April in every African country, in every African state, on the streets, everywhere. And this march on the 30th of April on all streets of Africa will be a warning to the United States of America to leave us alone. They can find an alternative outside of Africa, but they should leave us alone. They should leave our hero alone. They should leave Africa alone. We are good. We love what we have, and we do not need any help from the United States of America or France. We do not need help from France. We do not need help from the United States of America. We do not need help from the European Union. We are good, and we have what we want, and we can manage it. This march is on 30th of April.
General Langley, can you talk about why we care about what's happening in Africa right now? Why are we spending the money we're spending there?
For access and influence. I say that a number of countries are at the tipping point of actually being captured by the Russian Federation, as they are spreading some of their false narratives across Libya. And from a strategic answer piece, access influence across the whole Maghreb, that is NATO's southern flank. We need to be able to maintain access and influence across the Maghreb, from Morocco all the way to Libya. The PRC and Russia are also remaining exploitative where possible and coercive when necessary. They want that ground. They want power projection capabilities. So for the most part, the rest of the continent is also for mining concessions, whether it be gold or rare earth minerals. Both of them have a long-range plan. But I think at the accelerated pace, the Russian Federation is really trying to take over Central Africa as well as the Sahel.
They want to take so much that they've taken on from us. We just need a little part of it, yet they don't give. They don't give you nothing for nothing. They always end up using the black against the white. Even here. If you're working here, if they want to throw you out of the office, they use a black man to throw you out. They never come alone. And then they come to tell us about democracy. No, there is no democracy for a black man. We all have to stand up and fight. Because the democracy they're fighting for is to put one puppet who is going to rule us, embezzle our money, and become a foolish idiot to them. Because they know during military regime, there's no military man that is going to obey to their nonsensity or their stupidity. You know, I really like. We both, including us women. I'm so young to fight. I am ready to fight. If Traore is ready to open his army base for the black people to join the army, I will come down, I will fight. I will not take my kids, but I will come down and fight. Really, as a woman, after all, Ukrainian women fight for their country. They do. All the Ukrainian women, they came out to fight for their country. When there was war in Finland, a lot of the Finnish women came out to fight. So if that is going to happen in Traore's country, in Burkina Faso, let us come out and fight. It's time to say enough is enough. The best doctor in the whole world are from Africa. The best car producers in the world are Africans. The best technician in the world are Africans. Yet we do not have nothing. Yet we put in the dumbest people to rule us. How does that even make sense? How does that make... These people respect an average Indian man with a black collar like us, but with a curly hair, than a black person. I'm telling you, people don't know what Europe... I have traveled all over, and I tell you, as long as Europe, America, UK is concerned, black people have no respect anywhere. Be you the president of Africa, they don't care. They don't care. So it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to stand up and take what belongs to us back. This is our resources. The road I'm walking on right now, I might be called a slave. I might be called a black woman, a stupid black woman. But my money, my grandparents' money, their blood is on this road I'm walking on right now. Yet they don't respect us. Yet they treat us like trash. The funniest part is that they are even extending this treatment to our children. You know, they extend it to our children. At school, they maltreat them. They treat them like nothing. You know? Recently, my eldest son, who has just been signed in Austria for American football, you know, he told me about his experience when he was in secondary school. I don't even know why he came up with that story, because he knows I'm a fighter and I always fight anytime. So he never told me his experience when he was a young, you know, when he was still young, as in when he was still in primary school and secondary school. So he recently, we were discussing, and then he came up and started telling me the whole story. It was horrible. The experience was horrible. And I asked him, Daddy, why didn't you tell? He said, Mommy, if I tell you, you coming to school to make problem and they're going to start bullying me, that your mother is a troublesome person, your daddy is a black trouble. You know, it really, I'm just, I don't know. I just wish African leaders will wake up and understand that this is just too much for us and we are tired. I really want to come back home, but we don't. Do we have a home? Do we have a home? We don't. Really, we don't have a home. Do you know what it means to be in darkness? There is no electricity, there are no good roads, and then you have these terrorists killing everywhere. At least we are safe here. That is the only good thing about here. You cannot have problem in my country, which is Nigeria, and then you call the police. The police is going to like eat from here, eat from there, and then at the end of the day, you have no justice. The justice system is crashed down. It's trash. The police system, it is trash. Every system in Africa is trash. You know, a thief who rented our home in Abuja broke into our house because the house is always locked. There is nobody. There is like, you know, a holiday house. Broke into the apartment, stole all the electronics there and all. We know who stole it. We locked him up, and his people will come and bail him out. And then the police were eating from the both side, eating from my husband, eating from him and his family. And at the end of the day, we got tired, and you know, nothing was done. The whole property is gone. You know. So this is what nobody should. Do not allow anyone to come out and tell you that Europe is a peaceful place. That Europe is lovely. It's not. They are lying. It's not. Trust me, it's not. It's just a bunch of stories. Or America is the best. No, it's not. Or UK is no. Trust me. You work like hell. When you work and you save all that money, at the end of the month you come back home, and at the end of the year you come back home and celebrate. Oh yeah, you know, this is Europe is good. People are living well. Who tells you that? The weather is messed up. As I'm speaking to you now, I have to wear like 3 clothes and then jacket and then a necktie and a scarf and 2 stockings and a boot to enable me come out. That is it. Were we born to live like this? No, this is not our weather. But yet we're here suffering it, pretending as if we're enjoying it. But of course we're not. You know, so it's a terrible situation, and I'm going to stand. Like I said, we all should stand up for this guy. Everyone should use their platform. I'm not a social media person because I'm a very busy person, but if I have to be a social media person, I think I'm going to start from using my platform to talk about Traore and the America. I don't care if they come after me. I have made up my life already, so I don't even care to die. It's just I just feel sorry for my kids. They're not going to have a mother, but I don't really care as long as the future is going to be made better for them. You know, that is all I care about. That is all I care about. You know, I fight them every day. I fight them in my office. I fight them when I'm walking around. I fight them when I go to supermarket. Because even the clothes you wear as a black person, you know, they get so jealous. Because you as a black person, you're not supposed to be dressed nice.
Whitney, round up. So I will bring somebody else up. Then you come back. Then you speak.